doing all of this, what some people might call babbling, which is fine. A lot of people will deem me to be one of those basic characters, trying to insult their intelligence, trying to buy into something, and that's okay, because every day of our lives we have to live with ourselves, and when we have to live with ourselves, the choices, the decisions that we make to accept one thing or another, we're the one who accept the consequences. So I welcome the scrutiny. It's how it is. Now I'll give you transparency and say, yes, I'm trying to win over your attention. Yes, I'm trying to encourage you to change the way that you think. And yes, I'm guilty, but so is everyone else. If not me, then there'll be other people, whether for good motives, whether for bad motives, for selfish motives, or whatever on that, will go here and there and try and encourage you to think one thing or another for one reason or another. So I am no different than that. I will give you that on a silver platter. That is my intention, to try to challenge your thinking. So if not me, everybody else. That's just how it is. And at the end of the day, saying that you have a perception of reality and you have to live with the consequences of what you accept or not, you are well within your rights to basically try to figure out for yourself what is good and bad. And you'll have that choice. But all I'm saying is that if you give your ears a voice for everything else out there, then hopefully I would be very humble and would be very flattered if you would do the same for me too. And hopefully whatever I have to tell you might have some bearing and relevance. So, and with that being said, as far as I'm doing my song and dance and my salesmanship and blah, 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 I guess you could say that's part of that. Anyways, yeah, it's just a human experience, right? Just sometimes us humans do things because that's how we do things. But as far as I see the reality, and what I believe I'm saying to you is just good sense. Maybe not common sense, because common sense is usually known, but it's sense, right? That if we invest into something, we reap out of something. Now, what about love? Sometimes you don't fully understand the reality of what you reap until you start making an investment. Now it's up to you, whoever you might be. Do you want to take a chance and find out what you can reap out of love? It's up for you. Not that I hold a monopoly on it. It's there. It's waiting. It wants to make itself known. Your mind has to be open to its reality. Now, if that is the case, then let's try something. Let's begin that journey in our mind. And I'm going to suggest to you something very, very simple. That I don't need to be holding a clock like this in front of you and saying, okay, you will do this, and you will do that, and you'll have these thoughts, and then you'll be... I'm not going to do something cheesy like that. I'm just going to be very plain Jane with you. Let's start with the mind. And I'll give you an incentive. And give yourselves maybe 5-10 minutes to just try to just be at the moment and not be caught up in the thoughts that might be happening in your head right now. Just try to. The human mind is made to think, so that's not going to happen. But one thing we can do is try to slow down the thought process and everything else and be at least a little bit more aware. So I'm realistic. I don't expect that you're going to flush your thoughts out of your mind. Just what's really good is breathing. That slows down all the thoughts and all that and kind of makes you situated into the now, I guess you could say. Take 5-10 seconds to do that. And I'll just give you an example. Something like that, a couple times. Now, in your own mind, simple thought. Just see yourself giving a thought, just giving a hug to someone who needs it. Someone who's been having a bad day, a bad trial, and somehow just the fact that they know that you care will make them feel good. In your own mind, and there'll be two parts to this. In your own mind, the first part, repeat a certain thought like 50 times. For instance, which is what I'm doing. In your own mind, create a visual little video of you that probably lasts not even 1 second, of you giving a hug to someone who needs it. Be in touch with that thought. And then repeat it 50 times over. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Repeat that 50 times over. And as you are done with that, then follow the next video that I do. Because otherwise, whatever I am telling you will fall on deaf ears, you will not understand. But if you do as I say, then the next video and certain some stuff that I speak, you will be able to make sense of what I'm saying.